it's Dina from Tarot with Dina. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a video response to Mixtress Rae, who had done a video response to someone else. I'll link it below. And it is about disheveled decks. So I'm going to show you my most disheveled decks. I'm actually going to start with two decks that should be disheveled and aren't. These are actually in pristine condition. So why is that? And that is because they were so disheveled at some point that both of these have been recently replaced. So I have the Robin Wood, which had been riffle shuffled and ripped. And so this is a brand new pristine copy of a deck that I originally had more than 20 years ago. The Tarot of the Old Path is another deck. What had happened was I had this deck when my children were small and it got milk spilled on it and it turned into just a brick. So these are two of my oldest decks, but I have brand new clean copies. So these are decks that should be disheveled and aren't. Then I have the Book of Shadows. This is the So Below. It has an As Above and So Below deck. This was my main reading deck for several years. So you can see that it has, if you look at the edging, there's just little nicks and chips in the edging. This thing has been shuffled all to heck and everything. So this is a deck that has earned its disheveled state. Then I have this copy of the Universal Waite Tarot. This copy, I must have gotten it about 2003. That sounds about right, 2003, 2004. The box has washi tape holding it together, sort of barely holding it together. Maybe it needs some new washi tape. But this deck is just something else. Okay, first of all, there used to be this forum called Eclectic Tarot where people would talk about tarot, but it didn't have video like we have on YouTube or even pictures like Instagram. It was just people talking. So people were giving advice like you can gild the edges, and they were like you can buy this stuff at Michael's and gild the edges. So I tried to gild these edges. This does not look like gilding. I mean, it looks like dirt. So this was the first mistake that I made with this, was not knowing how to gild the edges and getting just a dirty, grungy look. And it's all over the cards on the backs. So I just did basically the world's worst job of trying to gild. Then I had this pen that I got also at Michael's that was recommended on the forum. And it was supposed to go around and leave like gold leafing around the borders. And I was just doing the world's worst job. This was just a mess. So I did a couple, and then it was just clear that all I was doing was messing up my cards. So I have some cards with gilding and it's coming into the card. Most of them I didn't do. I just have, this is, you know, a disaster. Then I decided to somehow take the disaster I had already made of this deck and go one further. So what I did was, on the cards that are minor arcana cards that would be pips in Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck, I took this deck and I wrote the keywords. I wrote Aleister Crowley's keywords for the Thoth deck. You know, strength over here, disappointment, victory. I wrote them on a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Sometimes they go along with it. Sometimes they don't seem to. These ones do to some extent. You've got victory there. Sorrow. I mean, sometimes they do go along. I think, oh, this one has love. I think I was intending like that I would study both decks side by side, and that when I saw these ones I would somehow understand the other ones better. So you have strife here. I mean, to some extent they do make sense. Occasionally you get one that just doesn't, and you're just like, what is going on with that one? So sometimes there's just keywords. Here you have peace. I'm not even sure how in this depiction that has anything to do with peace, other than I guess just a quiet moment before your sword fight or something. But the keywords don't always go with what it's supposed to mean in this deck. So then they were already like this. You know, they got the dirty edges. Some of them have random gilding. Now they have Aleister Crowley's keywords. So I just took it one further. And when I took an online class from Ethany's Tarot Readers Academy, she had how to do timing with the minor arcana cards, with the suits. So I just wrote the keywords with a Sharpie because I figured, whatever, the deck is already, like, I might as well put some practice keywords on here because it's already looking like this. Then on the other side, from the same class that I was taking, I have now Ethany's keywords for the court cards. Because again, this deck is already a mess. So I might as well write my keywords on it while I'm, you know, learning a new system with the timing and a new system of keeping track of the court cards. But what's interesting about this deck is that anytime my husband wants a reading, he will never go to the shelf where I have all of my tarot decks. He will just instantly say, where is the real tarot deck? He's like, where is your real tarot deck? Because of all of the decks that are in pristine shape, that are newer, that I didn't mess up by doing a bad job at arts and crafts or writing all over them, he considers this the actual deck, that he will only get a reading from this deck. So that is my most disheveled deck.
I love it.
So that's all I've got for you today. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell for notifications. I post new videos every Wednesday.